everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Today is Monday, the 26th of August. What is happening in the world of the Giants? Well, you know, we're gonna digress a little bit in happening in the world of the Giants and what's happening in the world of the NFL. Andrew Luck retires because he is tired of the pain, tired of the work that it takes to get back from injuries. And really, can anyone sit there and really say, you know what, he is not, a tough guy. He needs to play. He needs to go forth and do what he needs to do to be the NFL quarterback that we know he is. Listen, he has gone through injuries after injuries since the day he came into the NFL. He's played through the pain. He's played through the injuries. He knows what it takes to rehab, and that's the problem. He knows what it takes, and it's an arduous process of getting his body back into shape only to get it beat up again. Can anyone really blame him at this point in time for saying, listen, I'm 29 years old. I don't want to be 34, 35 and not be able to walk. I don't want to be in my 40s and have to have knee replacement. My shoulders are shot. I mean, if you watched him play last year, and I'm an Andrew Luck fan, that man, I don't know how he was getting the ball out sometimes because it literally looks like he was lollipopping a lot of his throws. I mean, that is amazing to me that he was able to play at the level that he did last year and have the success that he had last year as well. I wish him all the best of luck. But the reason I'm bringing up Mr. Luck is Eli Manning. Eli Manning, 15 years in the league, never missed a start unless he was pulled because of Macadoodoo and not allowed to play against Oakland. He would have his consecutive streak going, the Iron Man streak. And let's be honest, where do you see that in football right now? Where do you see that? The Eli Manning who will go in day out, play through the pain, be able to absorb the punishment that he does on a weekly basis for 15 years. You don't see that. And that's the problem. People sit there and go, I'm ready to see Daniel Jones. I'm ready for this. You know what? I hope Daniel Jones is a great NFL quarterback. Only because of the fact that you got to remember, he's on our team. So, yes, I hope he rocks it. I hope he is Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Tom Brady, everyone combined into one package, brings us 5 different rings. But you know what? It's still Eli's time. Eli is still the man on the team. Eli is still the one that knows how to get things done. He's played through the adversity. He's played through the pain. This will probably be his last year in a Giants uniform. And you know what? He deserves the opportunity to go out as a winner. He deserves the opportunity, in these first 8 games to show that he could still have to play at the consistent level that we know he can play at. He does need to show us that he can do it because we hope Daniel Jones is in the wing ready to play. But he needs to be allowed to us to afford him that opportunity. And I like when Giant fans says, you know what? We don't know Eli nothing. He sucked the last few years. No, he hasn't. The offensive line has sucked. If you take his statistics, I believe he was over 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and gave that to any other team, or not any other team, but maybe 26 other teams in the league, they'd be like, yeah, I want a quarterback that's going to complete 66% of his passes, throw for over 4,000 yards, have a 2-to-1 ratio on touchdowns to interceptions. Hell yeah, I want that on my team. But the problem is he's in the New York Giants market. The fans here think he can play offense. He can play defense. He's blocking. He's running the ball. He's defending. No, he's one cog in the machine. The machine was broken the last year for the first 8 weeks. Let's be 100% honest about that. It was not like he had the line that was going to carry us, and just move us forward. It was broken. We were a broken team last year offensively. Odell Beckham may think that he is God's gift and he was going to push forward and he's the greatest talent in the world. You know what, Odell? I am so happy you're going to Cleveland. Go to Cleveland, stay in Cleveland. You know what? Leave us the hell alone. Because honestly, Odell, you are friggin' annoying. The thing with the net, the crap with the end zone peeing in Philadelphia, All that stuff adds up. The French model, the questionable cigarettes, everything else. But you know what? We were a broken team. When we finally got our offensive line together and in stride, what happened? We started scoring points. The last 5 games, we scored more points than any other team in the NFC East. We were clicking. Now, the defense could not stop anybody. I mean, we make some of those trades. The Eli Apple, I'm glad Eli Apple was gone. I mean, let's face fact. Between his mom and his inconsistent play, it was a good thing that he was gone. And people are like, well, he had a great season, rest of the season in New Orleans. No, he didn't. He had a lot of tackles, yes, because they picked on him constantly. I have the NFL Network dish, the Sunday ticket, so I watched all the games. They picked on him like there was no tomorrow. So you know what? Yeah, you're going to have a lot of tackles when you got a lot of passes thrown your way. Just what it is. In our interior run, we made the trade. I don't like talking about players that we traded and their names, but we made the trade of someone we shouldn't have traded over to Detroit for a 5th-round pick. And honestly, you know what? Our center of our line just was not holding the run anymore. I'm a little worried to see what happens about that this year. I know Lawrence has had a good push through all the preseason, but you know what? We can't even go by that because let's be 100% honest. We really only had a little indication of how the preseason was going to go by watching last week's game against the Bengals. The Bears played second, third stringers, fourth stringers, guys that can be bagging groceries in September. The Jet game, we saw the starters for maybe one series before the rain came. So we really haven't seen what this team can do yet. And that's why I get leery when people are like, well, Daniel Jones, he's the savior. He's the best quarterback prospect we've seen since 2006. We don't know that. He's playing against scrubs most of the time. We got a little indication how well he played against the Bengals, but again, he was playing against mainly the second-team unit. So, so it's neither here nor there. I hope Daniel Jones is a fantastic pro. I hope he proves us all wrong, and he is just phenomenal. But honestly, I would like to see what happens. I would like to see what happens with Eli these first 8 weeks. Let's give him 8 weeks. Let's give him those 8 weeks. He goes 4-4, keep playing him. He goes 2-6, put the kid in. Plain and simple. It's that situation same with going back to 2004 with Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner, we had a winning record with Kurt Warner playing. I think we were 7-6 when we benched him and put in Eli. And Eli lost all the rest of the games except for the one. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. But it was time for growing pains. Coughlin had it in his head that we weren't going to make the playoffs. Because honestly, 7-6, we were not even that good as a 7-6 team. We were a lucky 7-6 team. And that was the issue, that Coughlin was like, okay, let's just see what the kid's got. He is our future. He is our number 1 overall draft choice. Let's see what can happen. And we all know what would happen. Eli had a couple of rough patches in the beginning of his career. He still played well, not consistent, but he still played well. And then he went on to get us 2 Super Bowl rings, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, numerous 4,000-yard seasons, numerous seasons of 20 touchdowns or more. He's going to be probably in the top 5 of every single passing coordinator in history of NFL when he retires. So let's hope Daniel Jones is that. Let's really hope that. It reminds me going back to the 79 season with Phil Simms. We started Pisarcik in those games, and then we went to Simms after that. And Simms played well. I think he was 4-5. I don't remember exact record off the top of my head, but he played well. And coming out of tiny Morehead State, where only had like 1,200 yards of passing his senior year, he had like 9 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. You know what? And the fans booing Rozelle during draft day. We didn't know what we had. But you know what? Simms got his Super Bowl ring. Technically he's got 2 Super Bowl rings because everyone kind of forgets that we were 10-1 with him, until the Buffalo game in the 1990 season before Hostetler came in. But you know what? We let him play. We let him grow. And honestly, a lot of times we didn't let him grow because there was a whole situation between him and Bruner and Rutledge and Parcells, 83 with 312-1, picking Bruner over him. And he even says that that's a big mistake that almost cost him his career. But you know what? He came back in, he came back on strong, and he played the way we thought he would play. So the question is, let's give Eli that opportunity. Let's give Eli that chance before we bury him. Let's remember who Eli was, and let's remember Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck, 29 years old, top of his game, just threw for 40, comeback player of the year, 40 touchdowns, took his team to the playoffs. He retired because he could not take the physical toll and the physical grind anymore. Eli's been doing it for 14 years for us. He deserves the opportunity to at least have 8 games this season. I know some people are going to be like, well, he deserves 2, he deserves 6. No. I've been watching the Giants, since, that I can really remember, since 1974. So you know what? I've seen the good. I've seen the bad. Take them on there. You have the facts of life. No, just it's been a long day. But you know what? Yeah, I've seen the quarterbacks come. I've seen the quarterbacks go. If you watch our other video, top 5 worst quarterbacks in New York Giants history, you will see how and what that does to a team. How not having the right quarterback behind the helm can really handicap your team for years. So let's give him that opportunity. He has earned it. He deserves it. And like I said, after 8 games, if we're not in the playoff hunt, let's go to the kid. Let's bench Eli. Thank you for the memories. Let's start him for 7 games because I would like to see, worst case scenario, if we start him for 7 games, I would like to see Eli start the last game of the season or at least the last game in Giants Stadium. But you know what? Let's just afford him that opportunity and let's hope that, things go well and things go as well as they should. But from that point, from that perspective, let's wait and see. Again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. We are going to be having our regularly scheduled webisodes back on Thursday. We were on vacation this week, took a little hiatus, and we're going to be moving forward. We're over 700 subscribers strong. And join us on Twitter also at Online Big Blue 1. We're moving up on the rankings, and if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. And, if you have any topics you would like us to cover, we'd love to do it for you. But again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Thank you.